So, hello there. You needed a little help trying to graph your data from 1.2.4. I'm simply going to show you how to get this done. So, what we're going to wind up doing is you can see I've already put in my data. So, I've got the initial amount there and then toss 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down through 8. Now, I just made up numbers for myself. And then what I did was here at the end, I have the total amount. So now, if you were needing help to get the total, all you had to do is simply click on that first one, and you're going to go over here, and you'll see a function sign, and you've got sum there. So all you have to do is click sum, and it will ask you the sum of what. Just simply drag across, and it knows that that's what it wants, and then you hit enter. Then all you have to do is literally, like once you're there, you would literally just drag that down, and it would do the same thing for the entire that entire column. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I will show you how to insert this graph. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of where where I'm going to be working, and then I'm going to go to insert. So I'm going to insert, and I'm going to insert a chart. As you can see, that makes for a pretty large size chart. What I'm going to choose, and this is strictly up to you, you can either choose a line. I am going to go ahead and use a stacked column. You can do it any way you like, as long as it's showing me the trend and what's happening. So I'm going to do standard stacking, and it's asking you for a data range. So I'm going to move this, I'm going to sort of drag it off to the side there. And so my data range, I'm going to go ahead and click on select the data range. What I'm going to do is I'll get off of that, and I'm going to highlight that entire area. Now, this is a bit of a problem. I think I needed to go all the way over to E. Good, I did. I went all the way over to E, and that was my whole total there, all the way over. So that's where I'm going to be pulling the data from. So I'm going to click OK. As you can see there, it's starting to fill in a few things. So what I'm going to do is I do want to add an x-axis. Well, my x-axis is going to be what I changed versus what I measured. So now what I changed was which toss I was doing. So I'm going to have that be the toss there. Oh, no, I didn't want to click on that. So I've got my toss in there as being my x-axis. That's the way it's going to be set up. So you can see that that's the way it's set it up for me now. Now, as far as the series that I've got, I don't want the toss to be part of the series, so I'm going to remove that. I do want the least resistant, the resistant, and the extremely resistant. I don't need the total being part of that, so I'm going to take that off, because what that would do is it would put those numbers in there right on the top, and I don't want that there. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. That leaves me 3. And I am going to use my column A is labels. So now, first things first, with this particular series, I can just click on it right there, and it tells me what the fill color is. So I'm going to have it fill being blue. Then I've got this next one. Now that needs to be yellow, so I'm going to put the fill color as being yellow. So now I've made that fill color to be yellow. And I can't see all the way across, so I'm going to want to fix that. You have to forgive me, I'm not working with a mouse right now. And now these I actually want to be red. So I'm going to click on that to be red. So now as I'm completing that, I'm going forward for each one. So now I've gotten that. Let's say I clicked off of it. So I've got my series all done. I've got each toss there. Now what I want to do is for the horizontal axis, my apologies. I can slant the labels or not. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to put in a title. So the title of this may be Activity 1.2.4, and I can have it be bacterial counts, or I can just shorten that to bacterial counts, however it is that you may want to title it. So that could be there, and then let's say that I want this centered. So as soon as I've done that, it centered it for me. I want the text title to be in black, so that changed it to black. Now, as far as I've got it positioned where I wanted it, so I'm going to go ahead and finish doing that. So now I'm going to go ahead and I can change any of the series here. So for my left axis, right axis, you can change it up to what you'd like it to be. But I want to finish here, so I clicked on that. So I did the chart title. Horizontal axis title, I'm going to give it a title, and this is going to be the toss number. So which toss that I did. I'm going to have it centered as well, and I want it to be in black. So there it is down there. And here I want my vertical axis title. I want it to add one for me. This is the total. This would be my bacterial count. And for my bacterial count, let's say that this is going to be, see, it's times 1,000. So that each one of those numbers stands for 1,000 of them. Could have it in default, but I want it in black again. So I've just labeled. Make certain that you always label your axes and that you always give your graph a title. Now I could have had that to be title and subtitle. That's strictly up to you. So now then I have the formatting. So now the color, I'm fine with what it is. And the text style that it is. Go back to that. Now here I've got extremely resistant, going to be in red, line color. And then I had these. Highlighted all of them for me. So text color. So text label. Least resistant is in blue. So even if you double click on it, it will change it up for you. For this, I'd like my grid lines and ticks. Maybe I want major spacing, auto, minor spacing. I want that to be maybe 5. So that way it splits it up for me. So I'm showing major and minor grid lines. That's strictly up to you how you want it to look. So I hope that cleared it up a little bit, and that will allow you to play with it at least a little bit. Series. So for my extremely resistant, um, that's red. I would want that to be red. Resistant, I want that to be in yellow. And then least resistant, of course, is in blue already for me. So I've gone on ahead and I've gotten my graph created. Now, some of you all may decide that you want a line graph. You just simply tell it what kind of chart you want to have there. So now this is a simplified way of doing this. And so what I'm going to do is I'll just take this and I can drag it over here, or I can drag it up underneath. That is strictly up to you. So as long as you get comfortable with using it, I'm hoping that answered any questions that you may have had. And you can always take that and you can control C and control V it to someplace else so that you have an accurate, if you need to embed that within a document. So I hope that answers any questions that you may have. All right.